Abasonga batali soki igula ko olutalo muna mukulu bala machunjo alikwogera olusoga ate wali kweka muli bayigwira olutalo ku mama Kadaga tiyenka bamazi bayigwira olutalo kabiri ku mukulu balunwa
neze okwemerera wane iganga musindikira obubaka mukobe nti ife tumwenda ino senga ffe tukwagala omusajja tebukwagala lwaki obwesibako.
Bobi Wine has extended an olive branch to the former Speaker of Parliament, KADAGA. Bobi Wine came out to invite KADAGA to the NUP. We all know that there are some internal battles from within the NRM where General MUSEVENI wants to depose of KADAGA. I've done several videos to why I think MUSEVENI is fighting KADAGA. So yesterday when Bobi Wine was opening up a new office for NUP in the Eastern region, he came out to ask KADAGA to join the NUP and that the NRM doesn't want KADAGA. And I'm going to give the reason as to why Bobi Wine this. Before I do this, I want to play a tape when Bobi Wine was inviting KADAGA. Here's a tape. Bobi Wine, when he was inviting KADAGA to the NUP, saying that NRM does not want KADAGA. First of all, one may ask, what is the reason behind this statement? First of all, Bobi Wine is a good political player. In fact, the opposition prays so hard that KADAGA loses the SEC position. It will be a rebrand for the NUP in the Busoga sub-region. Remember, in the last election, NUP won Busoga sub-region with almost 65%, although they didn't get a proper representation. I hope this time around it gets. For Bobi Wine coming out to play that technique is a political statement. For example, even when KADAGA stood as a speaker in the last election, the opposition supported KADAGA. I had some people coming out to say that in the rest they had opposition members. But sometimes you have to side with the enemy of your enemy to win. In this way, KADAGA is putting up a fight against MUSEVENI, regardless the mistake she made of the agreement and others. So for you to come out and invite him into the NUP, it is a courtesy. Remember, Bobi Wine is KADAGA is a force to reckon with from within the Busoga sub-region. Nobody should lie to you that is not a force. So for you to play better politics, you invite a person who is a force in the Busoga sub-region, and the people look at you as a defender of their own daughter. Because trust me, in African politics, there are some opinion leaders in each and every region. And in Busoga, we have KADAGA. In fact, if you fight KADAGA in the place of Busoga, it's very hard to maintain. Okay? To maintain in the place of that region, just as Bobi Wine is in the place of Uganda. So Bobi Wine making that political statement shows you the maturity and the shrewdness Bobi Wine is getting and the knowledge. Okay? Because we all know what is happening in the NRM. And I'm also sure that since General MUSEVENI refused to tell Anita Among to step down from the SEC, I'm very sure as day follows night that Anita Among is going to win this election. Not because he's the best, but because of what is at play. Trust me, if General MUSEVENI wanted to protect KADAGA, would have protected him the way he protected Haji Chigongo. And it's clear as day follows night that Anita Among is going to be the SEC vice chairperson for women. Okay, because he has a lot of money and he has soft hands, he gives it out. But also, General MUSEVENI wants such a kind of the leader in Anita Among who is sanctioned, and a leader who would want to run to General MUSEVENI for solace from the outside world. In that way, General MUSEVENI can use her as he wants, as he wishes. In fact, even people within Busoga, annoyed of what happened to Rebecca Kadaga. In fact, when Balaam visited Busoga sub-region, one of the supporters echoed these statements. In fact, he said these statements. Here's tape.
Tukola kyamaanyi ino mu history ya Uganda. Abasoga batali nsooka igulako olutalo nomuna mukulu Balamu ekyunju oli kwogera olusoga ate wali kweka muli bayigwira olutalo ku maama Kadaga tiyenka bamazi bayigwira olutalo kabiri ku mukulu Balunwa eyali atwala mu mpisi mukulu Balamu ndiikobera nti mukulu Museveni watarwande nayamba bantu ba Misogano abetulinga political ati Misoga yemereire mukulu Balamu nifamani Auntie Rosie, you are making a report. Nifamani akamwagira gaida kutuwamu. I need a report. Sa wandi no professor Balunwa balikumu yigo tseyeiba ngoma mukanisa ayanga n'office ya jifamu ya mubusi aya banakambuze kwa mundu bamfunana kali ku mulimo bamfunana kavira ku mulimo utindi kusaba Mr. President ebyaka Kadaga ndibyona tulikubirwanira tibindi ebinda akuka ndi kusaba otulinga mu nsonga ya professor Balunwa kubanga wolingira n'abantu abirimo ngabe twetusigaliza mu Busogano Kadaga ni Balunwa webaleine ensonga do sister Jadi wanika tujategeza president ate yena alindibona.
So that is the support of Rebecca Kadaga. He literally came out to say that the government is going for Kadaga and Professor Wanya. We all know Professor Wanya was the vice chancellor of MUBS. So they're coming out to say that there is a witch hunt. Remember, the system is coming out to say that Professor Waswabarunya engaged in corruption of over 53 billion. Okay? And they're coming out to protect him. Trust me, in the politics of very many African cultures, they want to see their own on the table. The moment you remove one of their own on the table, you get a backlash, no matter if he did a mistake or not. So I think the issue of Rebecca Kadaga is since she's also a smart politician, he contextualizes it as if it is witch hunt, because she was removed from the office of the speaker to an extent that the president himself campaigned against her. So those echoes are supposed to come out. As a person who wants change, I would clearly want Rebecca Kadaga to be voted out so that the Busoga sub-region can get angry. However, even General Museveni has some games under his sleeve. He came out to say that they should sit down so that he can have one of them as an appointee in the SEC. So it means that even if Rebecca Kadaga loses, he may be appointed as an appointee in the Central Executive Committee. In that way, he may sit in the SEC, unless Rebecca Kadaga refuses that position. But I don't see her refusing. Rebecca Kadaga is an icon in the Busoga politics and in the women. But I don't think he has a back to take on the president. Because for me, my wish is, I was discussing to someone and told him that Rebecca Kadaga has been in each and every position a politician would want to be. I think that most last position he would want to be is the presidency. He has ever led the House for 20 years, one as a deputy and a Speaker of Parliament. Remember, a Speaker of Parliament is number 3 in the Constitution. And for me, if I was Rebecca Kadaga, for self-actualization, I would go and stand as the president. This is the actual time to move out of the NRM and you go and tell your people that you've been fought so that you can stand as president. Other than that, the man is taking you slowly by slowly. And by the end of this term, for as long as you remain the NRM, it will reach a time when even the small influence she has in Busoga will dwindle. You rather retire in politics after standing as the president. Of course, that's my opinion. Remain yours truly, Mr. Makinde, Kabye Sulaiman Mawaga, the next MP for Makinde East constituency. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Yes, Kabye Sulaiman Mawagali. I am putting in my request to fly the NUP flag high in Makinde East constituency, so that I can represent the great people of Makinde East. Nkomyewo omulundi ogwokubiri n'obwongo nga bwesera nga busera. Ebiwandiiko byange mbirese bibino. Sorry.